Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of Astral Ascension. So in the last episode, we had another date with Luna, and we hung out with her. We went on a picnic with her, and then we met a photographer. I think his name was Cameron Snap. So he took pictures of us while we were dating, and then at the end of the date, we kissed Luna. So it's safe to say that we're basically locked on to a route. But currently, based on all the options of all the dialogue so far, it doesn't seem that we're officially dating yet. But safe to say that Luna is aware of our feelings, and then I think it's the same for her. She's reciprocating her feelings back to us as well. So yeah, we're basically on Luna's route right now. But however, the very next day, we went on a contract with Vela. However, that contract turns out to be a hoax, and we almost got kidnapped. But luckily, we did escape, and we managed to save some other prisoners. We also saved some other captives, and yeah, that's about it. But Vela right now is pretty shaken up by what had happened, and yeah, this is where we left off, I think. I'm not sure where we actually. I think we left off here. Yeah. So basically, the entire episode in the entire last episode is basically a good thing, a good moment followed by a bad thing. So after being rescued, we just went to bed. Yeah, right after the police took care of the hostages or the other kidnapping victims. So for now, yeah, this is where we left off. I'm just gonna continue. I don't know how to end the recap, but yeah, that's about that. Right, let's continue. A bright sunlight warms my face and my eyes flutter open. Instinctively, I screen from the brightness and turn away from my window. I slept through most of the morning and afternoon. Hold on. I forgot to do something. Okay, let me just check. Okay. Avatar's still there. Let's continue. Even so, I still feel tired. All night, I was troubled with restless dreams. Oh yeah, we also received a call as well regarding our payment, and turns out it's not going so well. Yeah, we have to find a way to get money quickly. I stretch and roll over to check my phone. There's a message from Iris. Come see me when you're up. I wonder what she wants to talk to me about. Maybe she wants to conduct an official debrief on what happened. Regardless, I should go find her. I text Iris back and then roll out of bed to get ready for the day. Iris lets me know that she's on the bridge. Once I'm decent, I exit my room and head straight there. As expected, I see her sitting in the captain's chair, studying the ship's data and other diagnostics. Hey Iris. She glances at me and smiles.
Hey, how did you sleep?
Well enough. She nods. You wanted to talk to me?
Yes, I just wanted to see how you're doing. I know things were hectic yesterday. How are you feeling now that you've had a chance to rest and process?
Yeah, default to the second option. Honestly, I feel great, all things considered. Iris blinks, clearly surprised.
Oh, that's great. You don't have any lingering thoughts about what happened?
I shake my head. No, there's no point rehashing the past when there's nothing you can do to change it. Now that it's a new day, I'm a new me.
That's a good philosophy to have. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thanks. Although I can't say the same for Vela, right? I appreciate you checking up on me.
Of course. The well-being of my team is important.
Have you talked to Vela?
Not yet, although I sent her a similar message. I'm sure she'll find me when she's ready.
I nod. As if on cue, the door slides open and Vela walks in. Speak of the devil.
Hey, Iris. I saw your text and there's something I want to talk to you about.
Okay, missing animation. She freezes when she sees me.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I can come back if you want.
Iris smiles at her.
You aren't interrupting. In fact, I'm glad you're here. I wanted to check in with you after what happened yesterday. How are you feeling?
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about too.
Vela shifts nervously from one foot to the other. She's having trouble finding her words. Do you want me to leave? I can give you some privacy. Vela shakes her head.
No, it's okay. You'll find out anyway, so you may as well hear it from me.
Uh-oh. This doesn't bode well. I glance at Iris. She remains quiet, but her brows are furrowed in concern. Vela takes a deep breath and then blurts out her words in one fast string.
I've decided to leave the ship.
For a split second, her words hang heavy in the air. No, you're not serious, right? Okay, I bet we somehow can convince her to stay, right? Yeah, this will not be a good option. In this context, it feels like a gaslighting option. But based on the music, it's very serious. But yeah, I'm just gonna be stupid and not read the room. There's no way Vela's actually going to leave. She's an integral part of this crew. I'm sure this is a bad joke to wind us up. Haha, very funny, Vela. You got us. I almost believed you were serious.
I am serious.
I stare at her face. There isn't a trace of a smile. Wait, you're actually thinking of leaving?
Yes.
My eyes widen. She is serious. Finally, Iris speaks.
May I ask why?
I don't want to be a burden to this team.
Vela, you've never been a burden. Your engineering expertise is invaluable, and we'd be worse off losing you.
Vela shakes her head.
That's nice of you to say, Iris. But after what happened yesterday, it's obvious that I'm too much a danger to others and myself.
I can predict what we might gonna say, but this is kind of like obvious. We might say something like, if we didn't take on that contract, we wouldn't be saving those victims, right? And then she perks up, and then everything went back to normal. That's how a typical line would go. But I'm guessing that's kind of too obvious. I don't think they would go that way. But if they do, then I mean, if they don't, I would be really surprised. I would be more surprised that they go a different approach to things. But if they didn't mention about how we practically save those victims, then I thought then I mean, if they did say that, yeah, it's kind of expected. But if they don't, yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes. That's not true at all.
It is.
She and I stare at each other until Iris addresses Vela.
Emotions are still high after yesterday's events, and I'd like you to think this through with a clear head. If afterwards you still want to leave, I won't stop you. But I want to make sure this is truly and honestly what you want. We would all be saddened to see you go.
Thanks, Iris. But my mind is pretty set.
Iris is about to respond, but her phone beeps an alert. She dismisses the notification, but another beep but another beeps in its place, and another and another. She quickly frowns and turns back to Vela.
I'm sorry to cut this conversation short, but I have to take care of this emergency. We can pick this up again later. In the meantime, think about what I said.
Iris waits for Vela's short nod before leaving the bridge. With a sigh, Vela slumps into one of the chairs. I take the seat beside her. Do you really believe that you're a burden? She turns her head to face me and nods. Why?
Because of everything we talked about yesterday.
I thought we were both on the same page since you couldn't have known we'd be captured.
We are, and that's exactly why it's better that I leave. Obviously, I'm not cut out for this kind of work if I can't trust that I won't make another decision that will put people in danger.
So one mistake is enough to undo all of the good decisions that you've made? Vela raises her brow.
What good decisions are you talking about?
Your expertise has been essential on all of our mission. Your expertise has been essential on all of our missions. When we were stuck on Oxari, it was only with your knowledge that we were able to lower the shields and escape.
Those are just ideas, though. They weren't decisions that I made on my own.
What about saving all those people yesterday? That was a decision you made on your own. Yeah, I knew this line is coming up. I predicted that. Especially when I wasn't originally on board with the idea myself. Vela blinks.
That wasn't really a decision. Of course I wouldn't leave those people behind.
You still made a conscious choice to help them. You stepped up when it mattered the most. And because of that critical decision, you saved almost 12 lives. See, I knew that line would come up. Vela opens and closes her mouth, but no words come out. You don't have to know everything to be cut out for this work. After all, knowledge comes from experience. You need to have determination and courage, and you have both. You once told me that you want to create your own path and have your own adventures. If you stay, that's exactly what you'll do. If you go, you'll never know who you could have become. Vela stares down at her lap. When she speaks, her voice is soft.
What if I'm not sure I want to be who I'm becoming?
That's okay too. You have time to figure out what's important to you.
What if it's too late when I realize who I want to be?
That's the thing. It's never too late. She remains quiet.
It's a lot to consider.
You've got time to think about it.
Well, thanks again for listening to me. You're probably tired of these convos by now.
Not at all. I'm always happy to talk. I hope that I've been helpful.
You have, actually. I just need some time to collect my thoughts.
I nod. She has a lot to process. While I wish I could make this decision for her, I know it's something that she has to decide for herself. Vela stands to her feet. She offers me a quick smile before exiting the bridge, leaving me all alone with my thoughts. My mind is swirling, replaying fragments of our conversation. What if Vela really leaves the ship? I shake my head and puff out a breath. Vela will make the decision that's right for her, and I can't worry about the results when she hasn't even made up her mind. What I need is a distraction. After exiting the bridge, I make my way into the lounge. I immediately flop onto the couch before switching on the TV. A man dressed in a suit and tie flickers on to the screen. His hands are cleft in front of him as he prattles headlines into the camera. Do I even want to watch the news right now? I'm about to switch channels when Luna enters the lounge. She smiles.
Well, hello there.
Hey Luna. I want to say if that's a Star Wars Kenobi reference, but I don't know. Well, is this scripted or like I'm not sure whether this is scripted or leaning towards or like a romance option path. I'm just gonna assume it is a romanceable path. At this point, like anytime Luna comes out, I'm just gonna question whether she comes out, whether if it's scripted for her to come out at this point, or is it because we are already on her route.
Do you mind if I join you?
Not at all. I scoot over to make room on the couch, and Luna settles in beside me.
It's been a long day, hasn't it?
Yes, without you, no, I'm not gonna sing that part. Yeah, a lot has happened. She nods in understanding.
That's why I want to relax with some TV. To clear my head.
She giggles.
I suppose you were thinking the same thing.
I grin. Guilty as charged. Although, I guess the news isn't that relaxing. Let me change the channel.
Just a second. Isn't that?
Where was Velora again? She points to the screen which now displays footage from Velora. Oh yeah. I turn up the volume instead.
For the last few weeks, constituents have seen a lot more of Councilman Nathan, who has been out in the community campaigning hard for infrastructure support and other community projects.
Oh. So this is the butterfly reaction. But I'm not sure whoever sits with us will be Luna or some. But based on this, I think it's a very generic event, so it's either scripted for Luna to sit with us or with any of the other two girls. Yeah, if we kill them, I don't think this scene would happen. Not entirely sure, but yeah. Well, I think in the next run, I want to pick another trait and see whether if we can catch him or not. Or maybe we just leave him for dead. Yeah, I want to see what happens, how it will affect the future storyline.
His colleagues and party members have all been inspired by the councilman's efforts, and against all odds, his local funding bill has been approved.
Luna breaks into a broad grin.
This is wonderful!
Yeah, Nathan got what he wanted.
And he didn't have to be Rook to do it.
We look at all of the smiling faces on the news broadcast. They roll through a clip of Nathan shaking hands with grateful constituents. Not sure if I pronounced that right. Hold on. Constituents? Let me just in case. Let me just check how it's pronounced. Yeah, constituents. Right.
Look at that! His popularity is increasing.
People are now aware of how much he'll fight for them, and they appreciate that.
Exactly.
We share another grin. This could not have been a better outcome. I'm happy for him. The rest of the broadcast transitions into local news stories, so I switch to something more entertaining. Eventually, my limbs feel heavy and I can't stop my ever-growing yawns. I say goodnight and then exit the lounge. I return to my room and quickly get ready for bed. Soon enough, I drift into a deep sleep. Well, that was the shortest day ever. I'm not sure this is another day or not, but I assume it's technically still nighttime. But if it is if I calculate episodes based on whether we slept or not, yeah, it's near 20 minutes. The first time a day ever goes by so quickly. But yeah, it makes sense since we woke up in the afternoon. But yeah, that's a bit short. A soft knocking on my door wakes me up. I blink open bleary eyes and glance around the room. Is there someone at the door, or was I still dreaming? Then I hear it again. A series of gentle tapping. Someone is definitely here. Just a minute. I throw off my blankets. Can't speak. And quickly, my typical I can't speak. And quickly make myself as presentable as I can. Then I open the door. Vela blinks at my appearance and smiles sheepishly.
Sorry, did I wake you up?
I shake my head, but my body betrays me with a yawn.
I can come back later.
No, it's okay. Come in. I step back so she can enter. Vela shuffles into my room and stands awkwardly by my desk.
I'm sorry for disturbing you, but I just wanted to say thank you again.
For what?
For everything. For always having my back and for letting me use you as a sounding board.
I grin. That's what I'm here for. She flashes me an appreciative smile before taking a deep breath.
And because of that, I wanted to let you know that I've made my decision.
My breath catches my throat, and I study Vela's face for a hint of what she's about to say. Please tell me you're staying. She's quiet for a moment before she splits into a broad grin. Then she nods.
Yes, I am.
I puff out the breath I've been holding. Oh, I'm so glad. You have no idea how relieved I am. Vela giggles.
Iris had pretty much the same reaction.
I'm not surprised. Neither of us wanted you to go. What made you change your mind?
It was something you said. That knowledge comes from experience, and it's okay to not know everything as long as we're open to learning. I realized that I had been closed-minded. Somewhere along the way, I stopped listening to other people and just assumed I knew best. And while I might be an expert in some things, I'm not an expert in everything. The kidnapping really shook me up, but you helped remind me of why I'm here in the first place. I came here because I didn't want to do the same things day in and day out. I want to grow and have new adventures and new experiences, and I'm not ready to give that up.
I can't stop the smile growing on my face. You have no idea how happy I am to hear you say that. The Ados wouldn't be the same without you.
Well, that's a given. Nobody else can take care of her the way that I do.
Vela grins jokingly and I laugh. Suddenly her phone beeps, interrupting our conversation. Vela quickly checks her messages.
Wow, Iris doesn't waste any time. She's putting me back to work already.
I chuckle. Oh, what does she want? What does she need you to do now?
I have to check all systems before we fly.
Oh, does that mean we've got a mission lined up?
I guess so? I'm not sure.
Well, have fun with that. I'm going to... Wait, what? Okay, I don't know what... Is that animation intentional or is it a bug? My phone vibrates in my pocket. I check it to find a message from Iris. Make sure we're ready for flight.
Have fun with that.
Vela giggles and I chuckle along with her. I finish reading the rest of the message. There will be a team meeting after all preparations are done. I guess that's when we'll discover our next steps.
Alright, I better get to it. I'll see you at the meeting.
I nod. I'll see you then. After Vela exits my room, I take my time to properly get ready and fix up my appearance. Now that I know Vela is staying, my mood is instantly lifted. She seems much livelier too. She was smiling and joking like her old self. I smile at the thought. I'm confident she's going to be okay. Once I'm ready, I head to the bridge to prepare for takeoff. Well, I'm guessing it's a new day now. Yeah, basically the first day went by within 20 minutes. Minus the yapping, it should be less than that. Yeah, minus my recap of the previous episode, maybe of 5 minutes, it probably will be around 15 minutes of that day. I calibrate the pilot controls and check our fuel levels. Everything looks satisfactory, so I head to the lounge. Kai and Iris are already there, speaking quietly. Luna joins them from the other side of the room and hands Iris a list.
These are the items we should restock when we land.
Yeah, finally Luna decided to restock on the medical supplies that were broken on Aksari, or maybe it's another different list altogether. Iris nods. She notices me entering, so I wave as I take a seat. A moment later, Vela arrives and joins us. Once we're all settled, Iris clears her throat.
I'm glad you're all here.
Her eyes linger on Vela a fraction longer than the rest of us.
Our next mission is a standard shipping run. We'll be taking secured material from a nearby planet and delivering it to another. And that's it.
She gives a pointed look to the crew before clearing her throat.
There should be nothing that gets in the way this time.
Luna and Vela giggle.
Wonderful. That sounds like a straightforward, simple mission.
Yeah, it's about time we had one of those again.
Kai offers an easy grin.
Something more lucrative would have been nice, but a job's a job.
I nod. I'm looking forward to something simple like and easy for once.
Are we ready to go?
The crew nods and Iris dismisses us to our stations. Kai and I head to the bridge and take our respective seats. I conduct one last check over the controls while Kai inputs the coordinates.
So far, so good.
Don't jinx it. Yeah, let's hope nothing goes wrong. He chuckles.
Sorry. Anyway, the navigation system is all set.
Thanks. I gear us up for takeoff and the Eidos is soon up in the air. Once we're securely out in space, I stabilize the ship and we quickly get back in the groove of things.
Come in.
Say what? Wrong line. So Kai says I will take the first shift, so you should go ahead and take your break. Are you sure? He pats the Crimson Ox beside his chair and grins.
I'm already wired.
I'd worry about your health, but honestly a break sounds good. I gave him a short wave and exit. As I near my room, I pause. Now that I've had a chance to move and stretch my legs, I realize I'm not tired at all. Maybe I should head to the sim room to work out instead. Once decided, I continue down the hall until I arrive at the simulation room. The door is open, so I walk inside and notice Luna looking over the console. Yeah, basically at this point, every single event will mostly involve Luna now. Because we're basically locked onto a path. Hi, Luna. She turns around, she turns at the sound of my voice and smiles.
Why, hello there.
Yeah, she says the same line. Are you about to use the sim room? She nods.
Was that your plan too?
Yeah, but I can come back when you're finished.
You should stay. I certainly don't mind sharing, as long as you don't mind practicing yoga with me.
I haven't tried yoga before, but if it's with Luna, it's bound to be a good time. Sure, that sounds fun. I hope it's okay that I'm a beginner.
Of course, and I'm happy to provide hands-on instruction if you need it.
She winks. Thanks, I probably will. She smiles and gestures for me to follow her to the supply closet. We each grab a yoga mat, then Luna returns to the console. She presses a few buttons and moments later the sim room transforms into a bright park. Wait, what? Is this actually a word? Two yogis appear in the middle of the room. I'm pretty sure it is. Yep, it is a word. We place down our mats and sit in front of the simulated women.
Ready?
I nod. The program begins with warm-up stretches, which I follow along easily. This isn't so bad. Once stretching is over, the yogis move into a balanced pose. They balance on one leg, chest facing forward, with one arm on the ground for stabilization. I tried to copy the pose. I managed to get my foot off the ground, but once I raise my arm, I lose my balance. I topple towards Luna's mat. Ugh! Luna is lightning quick, catching me and steadying me in one swift movement. If we choose the athletic trait, I think we can basically pull that off. Sorry, that was harder than it looked. She giggles.
Don't worry. That's what I'm here for. That wasn't bad for a first attempt.
Luna helps guide me back into the pose. I thought I would feel awkward with her hands running over me. Instead, I feel relaxed and enjoy the trails of warmth left by her fingers. She's deliberate and gentle, far softer than her medical exams. And for a moment, I forget what we're doing.
Here, your legs need a straighter angle.
A sudden touch on my inner thigh jolts me back to reality. Default second option. Let's go. I knew yoga would be a good time, but I had no idea it'd be this intimate. I remained still and enjoyed the feel of Luna's hand on my leg. This is exactly how I hoped this session would go.
Perfect. I think you have it now.
Luna starts to remove her hand, but I'm not ready for this to end. I forced myself to wobble, and as expected, Luna's hands return to steady me. Oops, I guess I still need help after all. She smiles. I can't believe that worked. Feeling pleased, I mentally congratulate myself on coming up with this clever plan. I don't even notice Luna step away until she's standing in front of me. Huh? Wait, what? I still need help? That failed. Luna giggles, a sparkling glint in her eyes.
Are you certain? Because you've been balancing on your own for the last 15 seconds.
Oh no. Curse my naturally gifted sense of balance. Okay, so I think this entire part would be voided if we literally have the athletic trait. Once I'm situated, Luna returns to her mat and holds the pose with me until the yogis switch it up. This time they dip into a low lunge and lift up and lift their arms up in the air. I'm not sure if that's a okay, I'm literally looking up what the pose actually looks like. This pose looks easier than the last one. Luna and I each get into position. An idea forms in my head. If I ask for Luna for help again, does that mean I can get more touching? That sounds so weird. And I'm sounding like a creep like that. I wonder if I should test out my theory. Yes. Hey Luna, am I doing this right? She glances at me and smiles.
It's a good start, but your lunge should be lower.
I don't think I can go any lower. Luna's eyes sparkle.
Would you like my help?
Yes, please. I grin as Luna steps out of the pose and rejoins my side. She's even closer than she was before. I catch the sweet scent of her hair as she presses herself into me. Using her foot, she slides my leg back, and as her hands wrap around my hips, my breath catches in my throat.
Keep your hips forward, but that doesn't mean you should lose your lunge.
This feels different than before. I'm acutely aware of where her hands trail up my thigh. She trails higher and higher. Suddenly she pauses, a smile curling on her lips.
Oh my! What's this? Is that what I think it is?
Probably this is the correct answer, but I wanna default to my second option. I smirk. Why don't you see it for yourself? Slowly, carefully, her hands travel to my inner thigh, pausing once her fingers wrap around something hard and stiff. She smirks before pulling out my phone and dangling it in front of me.
Is this it?
Maybe. Or maybe there's another surprise waiting for you. Come on! This is...
Is that so?
She dives back into my pocket and pulls out my keys, wallet, and access card. We know we won't trick her, but we're just asking for it right now. Keep going. Luna pulls her hand out of my pocket.
If there's anything else in there, it must be too small for me to notice.
She smiles innocently, and that sentence low-key hurts. Oh! If you don't know what I'm talking about, then forget. Then good for you. But if you understand, I'm gonna reuse the famous line from one of the characters from their previous game. Stop being a pervert. Oh, what a coincidence. My pockets are now empty. Luna giggles. Alright, well, let me put this away. She nods. I set the contents from my pocket somewhere safe before returning to my mat. Yeah, no way they gonna do those explicit stuff. This is a family. Can I say family friend? Is it close to family friendly? But if it is, there's a lot of adult jokes in here. But it's not. But the rating is. It's obviously not mature. We continue the program. Now that I found my rhythm, Luna and I complete the remaining sequence without incident. In fact, we've settled into a nice flow, and I'm really starting to feel my stress melt away. Once that's complete, the yogis, hopefully I'm saying that right, switch things up. Instead of flowing individually, they climb into a pose together, balancing off of each other. What's happening now?
This is the partner portion. I hope you aren't afraid to get a little more intimate.
Well, that's our intention from the start, actually. She winks and my heart flips in anticipation. I'm equal parts nervous and excited to see what she means by that. I think I can manage. We focus on the yogis. One of them moves into a triangular position with her hands and legs on the floor and pelvis in the air. She lifts one of her legs and the other yogi stands behind her to help pull the leg higher in the stretch. I look to Luna, who is already moving into the bottom position. Well, that answers my first question. I don't want to be the one doing the bottom position, obviously. Following her lead, I position myself behind her and notice that while her tiny skirt is currently covering everything, when she lifts her leg, there's no way she won't be exposed. A thought creeps into my mind. Once her leg goes up, I could sneak a look underneath her skirt and no one would know. Luna raises her leg high into the air and I grab it. All the options are the same. There is no way I'm wasting this perfect opportunity. My heart races in anticipation, thumping loudly in my chest. Is it getting hot in here? I gaze down her leg. My eyes first focus on her skirt, the white fabric teasingly hiding what's underneath. Taking a deep breath, I ready myself for the glorious sight, only to see even more white fabric. My heart drops as I stare at at a pair of fitted white shorts. I mentally groaned. I should have known this was too good to be true. Luna wouldn't just wear a skirt to practice yoga, and she definitely wouldn't put me in this position behind her if she did. I can't believe I fell for another one of her tricks. Soon the stretch ends. Luna uprights herself and turns to face me. She notices the expression on my face, and I catch the mischievous glint in her eyes.
Oh dear, what's wrong? You seem disappointed.
This is that's straightforward. Well, default to the second option. I cross my arms. You know exactly why I'm disappointed.
Oh, do I?
Luna feigns ignorance, but the smile on her lips gives her away. You set the scene perfectly. A tiny skirt, me positioned behind you, and a lifted leg. I thought I'd be in for the most wondrous sight. Instead, all I got was a pair of shorts. Luna's eyes sparkle with amusement.
What else would I be wearing if not shorts?
I don't know, I thought I'd see something small and lacy, or maybe some black frills.
That wouldn't be very practical for yoga.
Well, we basically know what the main character is actually into now. But who wouldn't be, right? I don't know. I couldn't say the same for everyone. I suppose that's true. Luna pauses.
Although, it would be more suited for other activities.
Oh? My interest is piqued. What kind of activities? She winks.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Indeed, I would like to know, but clearly finding out won't be so simple. The yogis move again, directing our attention back to them. Their new position is a bit puzzling. Their legs are intertwined in the air, using each other's force to stay balanced off the ground. Each yogi has an arm on the ground to support themselves.
This isn't a beginner pose.
It looks pretty complicated, but I've kept up so far. It'd be a shame to give up now. Let's keep our momentum going. I'm up for the challenge if you are. She grins.
I like the enthusiasm. Let's try it then.
This might fail, but it might succeed if we choose the athletic trait yet again. Right? Just guessing. Luna moves right away, so I follow her lead. She wraps her leg underneath my chest so that her balance rests on me entirely. I'm glad she trusts me enough to keep us both balanced on my force alone. I do my best to remain steady and anchored and allow Luna to shift herself so she's firmly in place. Although it took some maneuvering, now that we're in position, it's kind of nice to be so intertwined. It feels natural with her. That sounded weird a bit, I don't know why. Say what now? Just as I'm beginning to feel comfortable, the Ado suddenly lurches and we immediately fall out of the pose, collapsing into each other. Oof. We are stuck on the floor until the turbulence ends. Only then do I realize that I'm completely tangled up with Luna. Her body is on top of mine, and from my view on the floor, I can't tell which limbs are hers and which are mine. I roll over to pull free, but she rolls with me. We're more intertwined than I thought. Stay still. I think I chose the wrong option. Moving is only making things worse, so I stop. I don't want to accidentally touch something I'm not supposed to. I can feel Luna shuffling around, but she stops after a few attempts. Okay, I think The first one would be even funnier, right?
Are you okay?
Never better.
Excellent. Then perhaps you could move with me so we can get free?
Oh, okay. That's also a good option as well. Okay, what should I do?
You need to lift your chest because my leg is still underneath you.
Got it. I roll the other way this time, and Luna frees her leg. With the biggest hurdle out of the way, we're soon able to fully separate. Luna quickly stands up. Her face is redder than I've ever seen before, and her gaze is fixated on the clothes she keeps adjusting. I pat down my clothes too and move back to my side of the yoga mat. There's a moment of silence.
Well, that was certainly unexpected.
Luna's cheeks are still pink. I've never seen her like this before. She's always one step ahead, but this situation would catch up anybody off guard. Hey! Default second option. You know the drill. Maybe a little humor will ease the tension. I chuckled. You know, that was a pretty complex plan to get on top of me. Luna's blush deepens.
I didn't mean for that to happen.
I grin. Sure. She finally glances at me, and I think I see a twinkle returning to her eyes.
I seem to recall a certain someone lying there doing nothing, which kept us stuck together.
Hey, I didn't want to accidentally touch something I wasn't supposed to. She gasped. So if we do move, will we actually cop a few? Potential second run with Luna with another trait, I suppose. I don't know.
Oh dear. Is that where your mind was at?
How is it that me doing nothing still resulted in me getting accused of being a pervert? She smiles. Luna takes a deep breath before letting it out. When she looks back up, she seems more like her usual recomposed self. Our attention is drawn to a clapping sound coming from the yogis, and Luna smiles.
I suppose we finished the program.
But did we finish it successfully or unsuccessfully?
That would depend on what the goal was for this session.
She winks.
But I had fun regardless.
I did too. I never thought yoga could be so exciting.
I'm glad to have exceeded expectations.
She looks at the yogis who are still clapping.
Although, maybe I should turn this off now.
I nod and we clean up the room together. I put our yoga mats back in the supply closet while Luna closes down the program. The sim room once again returns to its normal gray state. You know, if you ever need another yoga partner, I'd be up for doing this again.
Then I'll be sure to ask you again.
She grins.
It was nice to connect over something we can do together.
Oh yeah, we definitely connected today. Thanks to that turbulence. I'm not sure how we'll be able to top that. A playful look returns to Luna's eyes.
I can think of a few ways we could be connected to each other.
Oh? Oh yeah? What did you have in mind? She winks.
You'll have to wait for our next yoga session to find out.
Deal. Luna and I double check that we have all of our things.
I should go make sure the supplies in the medbay weren't disturbed by the turbulence.
I nod. I hope it's all in order. I'm going to check on Kai and make sure he's okay. She nods. We finish up our goodbyes and part ways. Although my workout wasn't my usual set of exercises, I still feel that same post-workout high. Or maybe that's from being in such close proximity with Luna. Either way, I had fun, and I hope she did too. I head towards the bridge to see if Kai needs my support. He assures me that the turbulence was just a standard windstorm and I can finish my break. I'm not going to argue with that. After leaving the bridge, I return to my room to get some rest. Oh, that was exciting, wasn't it? And it's not even an hour. Now that I have a moment to myself, I automatically check my phone and I'm surprised to see a few missed calls. My brows crease when I recognize the hospital's number. I thought my billing issue for this month was resolved. There's a voicemail, so I quickly listen to it. I expect to hear Mia's voice from the billing department, but this message is from Celeste's nurse, Tabitha, urging me to call back. Unease settles over me. Immediately, I call Celeste. They should cap this. The line rings and rings until I hit voicemail. I try again for good measure, and when I can't get a hold of her, panic squeezes my chest. My mind jumps to the worst case scenario and my finger fumbles to return the call. I punch my way through the automated directory until I'm guided to the proper department. My heartbeat races with each ring. Finally, someone picks up.
Central Polaris Medical Center, this is Tabitha.
Hi, this is Javelin Yu. I got a call about my sister, Celeste Yu. Is everything okay? I try to remain calm, but my voice wavers.
I'm sorry, there's no easy way to say this, but your sister's condition has become critical. We urge you to come to the hospital.
My blood runs cold. What do you mean critical? What's happened to Celeste?
She was unresponsive to the current treatment and has fallen comatose.
A coma? Celeste is in a coma? Fear paralyzes me, rooting me in place. My mouth opens and closes, but no words escape.
Sir?
Sorry, yes, I'm here. Is she stable? When will she wake up?
She's stable, but we don't know when she'll regain consciousness.
I hear beeping and muffled voices in the background.
As her emergency contact, we need to speak with you. It can be done over a call, but it would be more appropriate to discuss in person.
I'll be there as soon as possible. Once, as I hang up, a million thoughts jumble in my mind, tangle into an incoherent knot. I don't want to believe this is happening. I can't. Celeste seemed fine the last time we talked. Or did she? I try to think back. What did I miss? But nothing comes to mind. Guilty tugs at my heart. I've been so distracted lately. What if she was trying to tell me something and I missed it? I need to get to Polaris immediately. I sprint out of my room and race to the captain's quarters, where I knock on the door. Ah, this was the missing line from previously. Okay, it was buried too far back now. So yeah, this was the voice line where Kai was supposed to tell us to take a break or something, but they accidentally put Iris's voice here. Iris's voice there and leave this blank. The door slides open and I hurriedly step inside. Iris sits calmly at her desk. She glances up when I enter and blinks. Her brows knit worriedly.
Are you okay?
I shake my head. I need to return to Polaris immediately. Iris's worry deepens.
Has something happened?
I fill her in on my phone call and Celeste's condition, praying that my frenzied stammering makes sense. I'm really sorry, but I'll need to leave the team for a while. I'm not sure how long I'll be gone, so I understand if you need to find a new pilot. Can you drop me off at the nearest station? I'll find transportation to Polaris. When I'm finished, Iris nods.
Okay. Tell Kai we're rerouting to Polaris and we'll go.
I blink. Hold on, you don't have to do that. I don't want to inconvenience the whole team with my personal situation.
We're traveling through a remote star system and your sister needs you. The fastest way to get you to Polaris is if we take you.
Accept, protest, don't question about it. Will that affect the outcome though? Let's make a... Yeah, I'm gonna scum save here. See if that... I don't think we're that far enough to reach another episode, so... Protest for now? What about the mission? And the team?
I've given you my orders. Why are we still discussing this?
Her voice is firm. Besides, we both know this is the fastest way. Thank you, Iris. She nods.
Let's alert the team to the change of plans.
I nod. Thank you again. She smiles and the two of us exit her quarters. Just before she leaves, she places a comforting hand on my shoulder.
Celeste will be okay.
I nod again. I wish I had her certainty. After one last gentle smile, she heads to the bridge. I return to my room and get myself ready to fly. My break isn't over, but there's no way I'll be able to sleep. The last thing I want to be is to be left alone with my thoughts. When I reach the bridge, Kai has already remapped our route. He claps my back and offers me an encouraging smile, but otherwise doesn't say anything. I nod my thanks. I get comfortable in my chair and change course. Even while flying at rapid speeds, the journey feels like forever. I fly until exhaustion forces me to take a brief break. Kai takes over while I rest, but I soon return to the controls. I'm determined to make it there as quickly as possible. The crew is aware of the situation and alternate between giving me space and offering companionship. I don't feel like talking, but I don't like being alone either, and I'm grateful for their presence. Eventually, we arrive on Polaris, and I guide the Eidos to the docking station. I'd arrange transportation ahead of arrival, so once the ship is grounded, my ride is waiting for me. Kai offers to take care of the landing procedures while I head straight to the hospital. The main lobby is busy with people, but the desk is clear. I hurry up to the reception. Excuse me, I'm Javelin Yu, here to visit Celeste Yu. The administrator nods and checks the system. As a pre-approved visitor, I shouldn't have any issues, but the long silence worries me. Soon the administrator nods and directs me to where to go. Before I can enter Celeste's unit, I have to undergo a full decontamination process. The first step is full body disinfection, and then I step into the sterilization chamber. I'm asked to put on a mask and a cover over my clothes before I'm finally allowed to see Celeste. She looks deceptively peaceful on the bed. If it weren't for all of the tubes and wires hooked up to her, I think she was just taking a nap. Celeste? There's no answer. All I can hear are the soft beeping and chirping of the machines. Carefully, I take her hand in mine. I'm here. Wake up. Please. Her hand remains limp in my grip. I hear movement and see the doctor enter my room. Dr. Celio. Is that how you pronounce his name? I have no idea. He nods in greeting.
It's good to see you again. I wish it were under better circumstances.
Me too. Can you tell me what's going on?
As you know, the current treatment plan has kept your sister's condition stable for a while now. But it's not a permanent fix. Her body has finally rejected the treatment, and this is the result.
So, the treatment doesn't work anymore? Is there anything else we can do?
Not while she's in this condition. Although she's stable, her body is weak, and any changes in her treatment would be too risky in her unconscious state.
So, that's it? We just wait for her to wake up?
Yes, but rest assured that we are doing everything we can to provide her the best care.
Not sure which to pick. Second option. I'll default to the, yeah, well, I'm just gonna keep defaulting to the second option if we, and in further runs, I will choose like other options. First run will be defaulting to the second option. I puff out a breath and run my hand through my hair. I feel so useless. I can't just sit here and do nothing.
Just by being here, you're doing something. Talk to her. Spend time with her.
Can she hear us?
She has normal brainstem auditory functions. Perhaps prolonged exposure can help stimulate and awaken her unconscious brain, and promote recovery.
A nurse comes by the room and calls the doctor.
We've got to check on the other patients.
I understand. I'd like to wait here if that's okay.
Of course. I think your presence will do her good.
I hope so. After the doctor leaves, I let my crew know that I'll be staying in the hospital until Celeste wakes up. Of course, everyone is understanding. I'm not sure how much time has passed, but I refuse to leave Celeste aside. Eventually, the nurse comes in and do her rounds and forces me to take a break. I'm exhausted and I can't remember the last time I ate. Maybe she has a point. It wouldn't do anyone any good if I made myself ill too. I check my phone and I'm surprised to see a message. It's a text from Luna saying that she's in the hospital. She's not a pre-approved visitor, so I meet her in the cafeteria. This part feels more scripted than... Okay, I'm not sure if this is scripted or not, but it feels like this is part of her route. As soon as she sees me, she greets me by holding out a lunchbox. Did you make this bento for me? She nods.
It's your favorite.
I take a quick peek under the lid. Luna carefully arranged my favorite foods into a neat and nutritious lunch. Her cooking is definitely improving because it looks delicious. Thanks, Luna. But you didn't have to go through all the trouble. There's a cafeteria here in the hospital.
And have you been eating from there?
Uh,
That's what I thought. Now sit down and eat. You can't forget to take care of yourself too while caring for your sister.
I do as I'm told and I wolf down the food. It's warm and delicious and perfectly hits the spot. Afterwards, I sigh contentedly.
Do you feel better?
Yeah, actually, I do. Once again, the doctor cures all. She smiles.
For special patients, this doctor will make out-of-office visits.
How very kind. She smiles again, her tone suddenly softening into something more serious.
You need to keep up your strength, so Celeste can wake up and see the strong brother she looks up to.
Thanks, Luna. I really appreciate this. I know you didn't have to do all of this for me.
It's my job to take care of you, and I take my job very seriously.
I can see that.
I'm sure you want to get back to Celeste, so I won't keep you. How is she doing?
The same. Luna nods.
Be patient. I'm sure she'll wake up soon.
Thanks. I hope so too. She offers me another smile and then we part ways. I'm happy I got to see Luna. Spending time with her always cheers me up, and today is no exception. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's scripted, so unless she's like approved to visit Celeste and check on her or something, as the role of a doctor, not as a like romance partner, but yeah, that part is like, that is her playing the role as a romance partner rather than a doctor, so yeah, we're on her route, so with my belly full, I feel much more refreshed too. Have I read this? Yeah. I return to Celeste's room. Her status is the same, so I settle into my usual place by her side and tell her all about my surprise visitor. As the days pass, I fill her in on my last adventures. I don't know if she can hear me, but it brings me comfort to share with her. I imagine how she'd react to some of my more dangerous situations. She hit me with her scolding relief, as she liked to say. Wow. I like how they keep blending all of the time scenarios. Yeah. Feels like we've been staying with her for like a couple of days. Yeah. It goes brighter, goes to evening, goes back to night, morning, then to throughout the day, evening, and the night. Yeah, I really like this effect. Normally they won't bother changing this over, and I'm not sure if this a looping video that they put on as the background, or they literally just like switch backgrounds consistently during this line. Yeah, normally they only switch when you reach when they only change background at least only once, but not when you're staying still on the same line and then they keep shifting the background like this. Yeah, it's the first I've seen this. Maybe there was, but I never really took notice. But this is pretty interesting. When I run out of my own adventures, I read to Celeste, just like when we were kids. Sometimes I think I see her eyelids flutter, and it gives me hope. My team frequently checks on me, and I try to keep a brave face for them. They're already doing me this huge favor. I don't want them to worry unnecessarily. The more time passes, the more my growing exhaustion weighs me down. But I still only sleep sporadically. Every little sound or movement jolts me awake with a rush of energy because I think it's Celeste. Each time I'm disappointed. Until this final time, when I feel pressure on my hand, I immediately sit up to see Celeste blinking. I immediately sit up to see Celeste blinking groggily at me. Come on. Celeste?
Hmm?
She groans, slowly stirring. Celeste! I call out for help, and a nurse runs in. Soon there's a whirlwind of activity. I'm ushered out while the doctor rushes in. The wait feels painfully long. Now that Celeste has woken up, I feel a little more at ease. But I don't understand how the situation even reached this point. I really need to talk to her. I alternate between sitting and pacing, but nothing feels right. Finally, a nurse comes by. Celeste is lucid and can now receive visitors. I go through all the same procedures before I'm allowed inside. Celeste sits up in the bed. She's fully alert, but still looks pale and tired. She offers me a weak smile when I settle in beside her.
Hey, big bro.
Hey yourself. You made me really worried there.
I know. I'm sorry.
How did this happen? I thought the treatment was working.
It was.
But now it isn't? She falls quiet and looks away.
You don't have to worry about me.
Of course I do. I'm your brother. And I've been worried sick ever since I got the call from the hospital. She grimaces.
That's not how this was supposed to go.
Her voice is so soft I can barely hear her. Huh? What does that mean? She shakes her head again.
Nothing.
Celeste is obviously hiding something, which means she must have gotten bad news and doesn't want to tell me. The fastest way to get her to open up is to seem like I already know what she's going to say. Yeah, default to the second option. If Celeste is too afraid to tell me what's wrong, then I'll just have to tell her. It's okay. You don't have to tell me. I already know.
Know what?
Your original treatment stopped being effective, and you haven't been doing very well for a while now. Her eyes bug open.
How did you know?
I pieced it together and you just confirmed it. Can you please tell me just tell me what's going on? She sighs and nods.
I guess I have no choice.
She takes a deep breath.
Don't freak out, okay? You were right. The treatments have been failing.
My instinct is to panic, but I keep calm. It's taken a lot of convincing for Celeste to open up to me, and I don't want to jeopardize learning the whole truth, even if I don't like what I'm hearing so far. How long have you known this? She looks down at her wringing hands.
For a little while now. At least since we last talked about my song.
I stare at her. A little while? That was before I was stranded on Aksari. Why didn't you tell me?
There was never a good time. You had other things to worry about. I didn't want to be just another burden for you to carry.
How can you say that? You're not a burden. You're my sister.
If we're being honest with each other, then you can honestly not tell me that you weren't putting yourself in danger because of me. I had a lot of time to think when you were on that undercover mission, and I realized that the only reason you took this kind of dangerous work in the first place was because of me.
She looks away.
And when I saw how well you were getting along with your crew and your friends, I also realized that I was putting a pause on your life. Without me holding you back, you could do whatever you wanted. You wouldn't have to be in harm's way. You could stay in Polaris if you wanted instead of having to live on a ship. And you could have your own family and a normal life. But only if I wasn't around to weigh you down.
Her words are an electric shock to my core. How could I have failed her so terribly? I know I've been distracted and circumstances made it hard to talk, but I saw the signs and I did nothing about it. I remember every thought I had, wondering if she seemed off. I should have followed my gut instead of blowing it off. My sister is the most important person to me, and I wish I treat her that way. I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you didn't belong in my life. The truth is, I never want to imagine a life without you.
But wouldn't you be happier without me? You wouldn't have to worry about money to pay for my treatment.
No, because I wouldn't have you. Everything you mentioned, none of that matters because what makes me the happiest is being a big brother to you. She looks skeptical.
I don't see how that could be true.
Well, aren't you happy to be my little sister?
Of course.
Even in her weakened state, she manages to sound emphatic. Hold on. Then, is it so crazy that I feel the same way about being your brother? She blinks, then she smiles softly.
It's annoying when you make so much sense.
So no more talk of being a burden, okay? We're family. We take care of each other no matter what. She nods.
I'm sorry that I let things get to this point. And I'm extra sorry for worrying you.
It's okay. It's not your fault.
Well, actually, it kind of is.
She looks down at her hands playing with the bedspread. Our conversation is cut short by Dr. Celio. He returns wearing an apologetic smile.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but it's imperative that we talk to Celeste about next steps while she's still conscious. With her condition deteriorating, we need to move quickly if we want to keep her stable.
Right, of course. If the current plan is no longer effective, what are our options?
We could try to weave back into her conventional care and modify the dosages. But I'm concerned that would only be a temporary stabilization. Alternatively, as I've mentioned to Celeste, There is an experimental procedure which I'd like to recommend as a long-term solution.
I glance at Celeste, who looks uncomfortable. Maybe that's what she meant when said it was her fault. Maybe potentially missing text, I'm not sure. She knew about this procedure but opted not to move forward. What is this procedure?
It's a method developed by the research division within this medical center. Our experts have collaborated with nearby hospitals who are also familiar with this very rare autoimmune disease.
Ah, autoimmune disease. Maybe it was mentioned, but I literally forgot. So, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense with a condition right now.
Through years of study, they developed a way to not only stop her body from attacking normal cells, but also reverse the already extensive damage, which could lead to a full recovery.
Full recovery? I feel a flutter of hope. Does that mean she could have a life outside of the hospital?
That would be the best case scenario.
But this is still in the experimental stages, so it's not guaranteed. He nods.
There are no guarantees. But the data is promising. Even after her coma, Celeste is still an excellent candidate for this procedure, and it would likely be her best chance for recovery. The machine is ready and available right now. If we do want to move forward, we have to do so immediately, to stay within the guidelines of the research and maximize the chances of success.
And if we don't do it?
Then, as I previously mentioned, we can modify the original treatment dosage and see how her body responds. However, given her already weakened health, it may not be the best course of action. If the adjusted treatment fails, then she will continue to decline until there's minimal chance for recovery.
Then we should go with the experimental procedure.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but it is the patient's decision.
I look at Celeste. Her face is scrunched in concern. If she declined this procedure once, then there's a chance she'll decline again. But I can't let her do that. Celeste. She glances at me, and slowly her face moves into a small smile. She reaches for my hand and gives me a squeeze. Then she faces Dr. Celio.
I'll do it.
Really? She nods. Dr. Celio smiles.
I'm relieved to hear that, especially considering we have no time to waste. We have to prepare her for the procedure.
He calls for the nurses and soon people are rushing in again. Celeste keeps a tight grip on my hand, the worry back in her brows. Soon the nurses are wheeling her away and she's forced to let go. After all that, we still have time to joke, right? Let's joke. I'll be right here waiting for you. Nobody can keep me away from my celery. She cracks a smile.
You better be, you dork.
I flash her a quick thumbs up just before she's wheeled out of view. Another staff member directs me to the waiting area, where I'm once again tasked with another long wait. I check my phone and see that my team texted me. I give them a quick update. Everyone mirrors my feelings, a confusing mixture of relief and concern. A few hours pass and I feel every minute of it. The longer the procedure takes, the more my mind wanders. Is this operation supposed to take this long? What if something goes wrong and they can't fix it? It's too easy to lose myself in this thinking, but I have to resist. I trust Dr. Celio and his team. I know he'll do whatever he can to save Celeste. When my crew surprises me with a visit, I meet them in the main lobby. It's a welcome reprieve from my thoughts. What are you guys doing here?
We want to support you and Celeste.
That's right.
Kai slings an arm around me and gives me a brotherly squeeze.
Sorry we're a little late, but we're here now for as long as you need us.
The girls nod. You didn't have to do that. I know you're all busy.
Not anymore. We cleared our schedules, so don't even think about trying to kick us out.
I can't help the smile growing on my face. As much as I was protesting, I'm honestly glad for the company. Thanks, guys.
Have you had any updates?
I shake my head. Nothing yet. Luna pats my hand comfortingly.
Celeste is in good hands. She'll certainly pull through.
Thanks, Luna. I know you're right. It's just so hard not being able to do anything for her.
You were doing plenty by just being here.
Yeah, think of how relieved she'll be to see you as soon as she wakes up.
I hope that's enough.
It is.
We fall back into the rhythm of waiting. Iris always stays near me. She sits unmovingly, looking more and more statuesque than ever. Luna somehow anticipates my needs before I even notice them, coming back with coffee or snacks just at the right moment. She's always there to lend me a comforting hand too. Vela and Kai can't keep still. Their restlessness seems to feed off of each other. If one of them is pacing, the other taps their foot in their seat. It warms me to see how much each of them care. I know they're doing this. I know they're doing this because it's important to me, and I'm grateful for their support. Finally, I'm summoned to meet with the doctor. While my team waits for me in the lobby, I go back to the waiting room where Dr. Celio greets me. How is she? He lowers his mask and grins.
Everything went as expected, and she's doing well. The initial response to the procedure is positive, but we need to keep her under observation to be certain the changes are taking hold.
This doctor seems like he has as big of a, well, I don't think he has as big of a role as maybe Helen or Zeke, but I guess it would be fair to give him a portrait, right? Despite he might have just like a generic doctor look, I think it's fair to give him a portrait of his own. Yeah, even Morgana, who had like a short time, still has her own portrait. She's more than a side character than the Xenoc guy. Xenoc is Xenoc. I can understand him having a portrait because he's like the leader of a pirate gang. But yeah, if Morgana because Morgana is more of a secondary role, plays a more secondary role in Xenoc's crew. So yeah, if Morgana can have a picture of her own, maybe it's fair to let the doctor have one. But yeah, apparently they decided a doctor looking guy is like probably a middle-aged doctor, generic looking one, no less. It's basically too generic to have his own portrait. But I digress. I breathe out all of my bottled stress, feeling a weight lift off of me. Celeste is okay. She's getting better. That's great news. Thank you, doctor. He nods.
You've had a long day. Your sister is recuperating and is not allowed visitors until we've run some tests. Why don't you go home and get some rest? We'll call you as soon as she's cleared.
I hesitate. I told Celeste I'd be here. Dr. Celio seems to sense my thoughts.
Celeste will understand. Go home. Sleep. You look like you could use it.
I chuckle. I guess you're right. It wouldn't be good to scare Celeste by looking like a zombie. Alright. Thanks again, Doctor. He says his goodbyes and hurries back to his patients. I return to the lobby and share the good news with them, with the team. They're all relieved and break into wide grins. Everyone agrees with Dr. Celio's advice to rest, and together we exit the hospital. Although we travel back in silence, the mood is much lighter. We are all optimistic for Celeste's recovery. As soon as we are back on the ship, I'm once again ushered straight to my room with strict instructions from everyone to get some sleep. There are no protests from me. I barely have enough energy to change and clean myself up. Once I hit my bed, I'm fast asleep. Oh? Will this technically be another day? I kinda wanna end this episode right here. My phone buzzes, causing me to stir. A bleary thought materializes in the fog of my sleepy mind. Celeste. Is the hospital calling? I jolted awake and shoot up in my bed. I hastily answered the call. Hello?
Good. You answered.
Oh? I tense. This doesn't sound like the hospital. Should I continue or stop here? This looks like a great time to cliffhang as the end of the episode. So yeah, we'll answer the call in the next episode. So for today we did some yoga with Luna on our way to our supposed next destination for our mission. But after our yoga session, we received a call, or rather received some missed calls from the hospital. So after some frantic calls, we realized that Celeste was comatose. Then we changed course and rushed to the hospital just to be with Celeste. And lucky for us, we got her into an experimental treatment plan, and for now she's better. And then we got this call from this guy that we don't know, but we'll find out in the next episode. So I'm gonna end the episode right here. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and have a great day. Bye bye. And we make a save, and goodbye for now.